Muichiro Tokito is one of the major supporting characters in Demon Slayer's The Swordsmith Village, and he is the Hashira of Mist. Today we'll be looking at his life and times, so let's get on to it. Muichiro and his twin brother Yuichiro lived in a distant hut somewhere. It was never really specified, but both their parents had what I call extreme bad luck. You see, their mother developed bronchitis, and in an effort to save her, their father went out in the middle of a storm. He lost his way and fell off a cliff to his death. It was soon after this that their mom died. At the time, Muichiro was just 10, and now they had to fend for themselves. With the death of their parents, it had a profound effect on both the boys, with Yuichiro developing a cold, harsh personality and had a very pessimistic outlook on life, while his brother Muichiro taking on the emotional and kind nature of their father. In the following spring, the wife of Kagaya Ubuyashiki, Amane Ubuyashiki, found the boys and wanted to recruit them in the Demon Slayer Corps. While Muichiro was excited because, hey, they could stop living in poverty now, he was opposed by Yuichiro's unwelcoming and rejecting reception. At this point, we finally got a peek into his mindset and how he thinks, as he had an outburst where he revealed that he blamed the death of his parents on their hardworking and selfless natures, which led him to adopt a cold demeanor, hoping that he would keep himself and his brother alive. But Amane never gave up. She continued to visit the twins, but Yuichiro chased her off each and every time. In the following summer, the twins were 11, and a demon arrived at their cabin during the night and attacked, resulting in Yuichiro losing his left arm while trying to protect Muichiro. As the demon badgered them for their worthlessness, Muichiro lost himself in a rage and destroyed the demon with all the tools they had at their disposal, and even wooden logs. By sunrise, the demon had withered to ash, and Muichiro had dragged himself back to the house. There, he would find his brother, fighting to survive. He laid next to his brother and grasped his hand as he passed away. Amane and her daughters later arrived and healed the severely wounded Muichiro. Afterwards, Muichiro had lost his memories, but then he would leave his old life behind and serve in the Demon Slayer Corps. Due to his prominent strength and highly extensive training, he quickly rose to the ranks of a Hashira in a mere 2 months. With his memories gone, Muichiro began taking after his older brother's personality and became aloof and indifferent. However, he's always felt an incredible anger deep inside him, which drove him to hunt demons. Additionally, Muichiro became acquaintances with the late swordsmith Tetsuido, who expressed his understanding and empathy towards the boy with his harsh circumstances. Muichiro is an airheaded individual who seems to be constantly wandering off into his thoughts and is unable to focus on anything in particular. Impassive and at times obtuse, he tends to only think for himself and operate on logic alone, never letting his emotions guide him, making him seem completely apathetic and indifferent. However, Tanjiro sensed that Muichiro wasn't being apathetic on purpose. He didn't emanate any animosity. Despite his mostly uncaring and unserious demeanor, he's been shown to get serious when it's required and is devoted to his position as the Demon Slayer Corps' Mist Hashira. Alternatively, he seems to display a cold and arrogant side, as shown by him violently shaking down Kotetsu and calling him stupid, saying that his time as a Hashira was important. Despite this, Muichiro doesn't seem to be this indifferent towards Kagaya, most likely due to his immense respect for his master. Now, what I think is going on personally is that he's suffering from some PTSD that's closed off his mind to the trauma that he suffered as a child. Not only having to murder a demon, but watching his own brother die. This must have been very traumatic, and anyone would repress those memories, of course. But this wouldn't stay, as meeting Tanjiro in the Swordsmith Village, he started to regain his old memories, and then started to change slowly until one day he regained his memories. At this time, he truly unlocked his real skill and childlike side, smiling and welcoming his fellow Hashira and Demon Slayers. Particularly due to his age of being only 14 when we just met him, he now showed a different side of having a new appreciation for those around him, opting to sticking to his teenager-like attitude, even noticing that Iguro had a crush on Mitsuri, which surprised Gyome. And this is how he started to form new memories of joy and happiness in the Demon Slayer Corps, and he could treasure these memories for the rest of his life. So that was the life and time of Muichiro Tokito, a pretty stellar Hashira if you ask me. So now we will be looking into his abilities and his breathing styles and forms. Please note that the next segment was recorded sometime earlier, so if I sound a little different, pardon me for that. But let's jump right into it, starting off with his abilities. From an empty-headed kid who couldn't concentrate on a single conversation to one of the best demon slayers out there, praised for his skill with the blade by other Hashira and commended for taking down the upper rank 5 Gyoko all by himself, and was also a pivotal part in taking down upper rank 1 Kokushibo. Hey guys, this is Kyle from Vars. Despite his age, he's been seen as one of the most powerful demon slayers, being able to go one-on-one with upper rank 5 and upper rank 1. He's so strong that he became a Hashira only after 2 months of training, which is an incredible feat. Even though he was no match for upper rank 1, being pinned down and arm slashed off, he was still praised as being a fine swordsman at that age. On top of that, he was able to unlock his demon slayer mark, the transparent world, and even the crimson red Nichirin blade. He gave his life to stop upper rank 1, and he was an integral part in bringing him down. Demon Slayer mark. He awakened his mark during his fight with upper rank 5 Gyoko. The mark appears as several red mist-like designs that cover the entirety of his body, most notably on his face and arms. As per usual, it increases his abilities several fold and even allows him to resist poison in his blood. Bright red Nichirin blade. During his battle against upper rank 1, Muichiro turned his Nichirin blade to a bright red color by gripping it with all his strength, allowing him to hamper the regeneration of the demon. Transparent world. Similar to other demon slayers, Muichiro had the ability to see the transparent world, allowing him to see muscles, blood flow, and joint movements of his opponents, which allows him to accurately predict and anticipate the movements of the attacks of Kokushibo. Enhanced strength. Just because he's small, he's always been underestimated, but he's been shown to be able to overpower even Tanjiro. He was able to knock him out with a single blow to the neck, and didn't budge when Tanjiro held and gripped his arm with all of his strength, despite Tanjiro being strong enough to break Genya's arm before becoming a demon slayer. Immense speed and reflexes. He's displayed many times that he could react and dodge the upper rank's blinding bursts of speed. Despite being unable to keep up with upper rank 1 Kokushibo, Muichiro could dodge a barrage of his crescent moon blades. Immense stamina and endurance. Personally, I think he has the most endurance out of all the demon slayers. His stamina is very impressive as well. Some of the greatest feats are when his arm was cut off, he was able to stop the bleeding instantly and continue to fight Upper Moon 1. Though he wasn't able to keep up with Upper Moon 1's speed, he was still an integral part in defeating him, being that he stuck his blade into his side and held on for dear life. Even when he was cut in half, even when he was so severely injured, he never let go of his blade and turned it crimson red due to his grip. Indomitable will. Muichiro's will and spirit is one of the greatest of the entire series. Even after having his arm, both legs, and even his entire torso sliced off, he still remained determined and ultimately led to the defeat of upper rank 1. I bet you're really loving this video. Here's a great way that you can support us. Like, share, and subscribe to get notified of when we post new content. To actually get notified, click on that notification bell. Now back to the video. It's noted that he was so proficient in using his style, he could easily create new forms on the spot, overwhelming upper rank demons despite his young age. Now, his forms are: first form, low clouds, distant. I think this would be reversed in English to say distant low clouds or distant clouds. A straightforward thrust attack. Second form, 8 layered. Muichiro unleashes multiple slashes on top of one another in quick succession. Third form, scattering mist. A circular slash that blows away projectile attacks from enemies. Fourth form, shifting flow slash. A quick slash from the sheath of his sword, reminiscent of the Lado technique. Fifth form, Sea of Clouds and Haze. Muichiro charges towards an enemy attack at high speed and unleashes a flurry of slashes. Sixth form, Lunar Dispersing. Muichiro leaps high into the air and sends a series of countless range slashes downwards. And seventh form, Obscuring. This is a technique where he drastically changes the tempo of his movements to disorient an enemy. When he shows himself, his speed will appear to be extremely slow, but when he hides, his movement will be in the blink of an eye. This technique was created by Muichiro and first seen during the battle against upper rank 5 Gyoko. So that's our video for today. If you haven't seen our look at the abilities and breathing forms for Gyome, Himejima, here's the video, and thank you again for joining me, V Nation. Peace out, stay safe out there.